Alive.
Yay, we're alive.
Here we are, and Captain Nick solved his audio problem. Yay!
Yeah, we were having. Yeah, we're live now, sir.
Oh, okay, brilliant.
Hello, Tanya, Mike Kuipers.
Hi, everyone.
Errant Traveler. Our Greek friend in Wisconsin. Hello.
I'm now desperate for a pee, so I'll be right back.
Mr. Van Ram and Megan Marin.
Good. I'm hungry. I hope my stomach doesn't growl too much on the show. No food in this place.
Greg Peterson. There's Greg Peterson. Hello.
Hey, Greg. Why aren't you at work, or are you at work? You're just goofing off at work.
There's Ernest. Hi, Ernest. We had some big storms here yesterday, so it's slightly cooler and less humid today, which is kind of nice.
Good. Let's see, what do
Picture
we got
of the
here?
current location. Okay, just a second there.
It's 84 degrees right now, which would be about 29 and a half, something like that. And it's supposed to get up to 90, which would be, I don't know what that would be in
It's
Celsius.
hot.
Hot. But not as hot as it has been. I mean, it's been getting up into the mid to upper 90s, so it's a little bit cooler.
Greg's at work. He's just goofing off at work.
Ah. Okay.
I don't know how you sent me that picture, Marin, but I haven't got it.
All right, I'm ready to go.
Okay.
Well, that makes one of you.
I'm ready.
There is only one of me.
Okay, that makes two of you.
They broke the mold when they made Captain Nick, that's for sure.
I'm glad they did. Gosh, can you imagine what the world would be like if there was more than one?
Identical triplets. Oh my God.
It would be such a blessing to all of us.
Oh, yes, indeed.
Of your two brothers, which one do you look the most alike?
Oh, like Chris, the eldest. He's 8 years my older. If I want to know what I'm going to look like in 8 years, I just look at Chris.
Look at him. Okay.
I did do a show number thing, by the way.
I see that.
You saw the pictures? Good.
I did. Thank you very much. I thought that Captain Nick is really well prepared.
Well, I had a bit of spare time, you see, and I knew I'd have a busy day today.
Checking my email. I don't see it there, but we're up here in Canada, so it's a little slow maybe.
Email?
No, she's talking about a picture that Main Marin is.
Yeah, Marin said he sent me a picture. Hasn't come yet. Anyway.
A timely recorder reminder is not needed, Tim. We are in recording process.
But always appreciated.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah,
We
don't
do.
ever take it for granted that we are
on this
on the
show.
ball.
No.
Yeah. But yes, I do actually. Before we went live, all the recorders are on.
Recorders are on.
I don't want tracking. What I want is my face to be better illuminated. Face exposure.
Oh, that's the face better illuminated button.
That's the one. Yeah, I'm doing it now.
Push that one.
Push the little plus sign.
See, I can make it go very dark. Although
Captain
it seems to be doing global, but...
Oh, that's good. That's better. Yeah.
You can see the reflection from my window in the behind me there.
Oh, yes.
Nice sunny day.
Very good. Very good. The cat is behind me a bit now.
Oh,
I see
it. Yeah.
I spotted it. I have one of those kitty cats too.
Oh.
It's not as fancy as yours, though.
Well, does it wave?
Let me show you.
He's got a waving cat, a beckoning cat.
I don't know. Did not know this. I guess it's a new addition to the
Or perhaps he's just stolen his neighbour's cat.
Yes, it's a yes.
Taught it to wave.
It's a live cat.
That's right. Oh, look. Oh, it's in a little plastic box as well. Oh, very good. It's got a very supercilious grin, and it seems to have had a child. It has a very supercilious grin, and it seems to have produced a child.
Yes.
All right, gents,
Nice one.
are we ready to roll? Did you want to check the sound on
Yes.
Roger's intro?
Yes.
You're listening to the Airline Pilot Guy Show.
Sounds
The
good.
view from our side of the cockpit door.
Okay. How are the levels as far as individual host levels from our audio experts in the
Tim,
chat?
Mike Kuipers.
Just to make sure that
what's the
that's
scoop,
on the
guys?
level.
Yeah, are we on the level?
I just turned Unity on, and I lost everything for
Oh, it'll
about
do that momentarily.
5 seconds.
Yeah, there's a period of time where all the audio juju.
And then
Yes.
I was screaming at you, but when it came back again, it was muted in StreamYard. So I
Oh, good.
go,
Glad we
which is a
didn't
good
hear
job
that.
because I was swearing a lot.
Yeah.
Were you?
Okay.
Oh, not you. Surely.
What? No.
A little bit of swearing.
I,
Do you
get, I
like my
think
t-shirt?
Tim's saying I like level. I guess that means it's good. I haven't
I
heard
like
any-
level.
I like level.
I
I
like
like level
I
too.
like level flight.
We are turning Japanese, if
We
you
are turning-
please.
Well,
We are
nobody's
turning
complaining
Japanese,
about the level.
if you
So,
don't
oh,
please.
Okay.
Mike Kuiper says you're good. We're good.
Wow.
Okay. Sweet.
Yeah.
Okie dokie then. I guess we're
We're
ready.
ready to roll.
Yes, ma'am.
To rock and.
Let's see what happens
Okay.
here. Oh, I need to do. Hang on. Got to do the countdown thing. Dang it.
Yeah,
Here we
that'll
go.
be good.
You're listening to the Airline Pilot Guy Show.
The view from our side of the cockpit door.
WAPG. It's the Airline Pilot Guy.
Airline Pilot Guy, episode 750.
Yeah, he's up in the sky. It's the Airline Pilot Guy.
Hello, you're listening to the Airline Pilot Guy Show, the view from our side of the cockpit door. With your host, Captain Jeff, broadcasting live from APG headquarters in Roswell, Georgia. Today's show is recorded the week of July 6th, 2026.
Yeah, he's up in the sky. It's the Airline Pilot Guy. Picture light and he's flying by. With the Airline Pilot Guy.
In today's episode, 4 weeks after a skydiving plane in Missouri crashed, the NTSB says there was no problem with the plane before takeoff. And British regulators say a local flight ran off the end of a runway because it touched down a considerable distance from the landing zone. Also ahead, more news and your feedback. So get all settled in. Tray tables and seat backs in the upright and locked positions. Electronic devices powered on. I'm Radio Roger, and Flight 715 is ready for pushback.
Thank you, Radio Roger. He is an award-winning TV and radio reporter, currently at the #1 all-news station in the nation, 1010 Wins on 92.3 FM in
New York City.
Welcome to the Airline Pilot Guy Show. It's an actually an aviation podcast where we talk about aviation news and we answer your great feedback. I'm Captain Jeff, a former U.S. Air Force pilot and retired Delta Airlines captain. And joining me again from across the pond in his Garden View studio, not in Kakalaki, this one.
In Hartford, Hereford, and Hampshire.
Yes.
Yeah. I
He's a
was.
retired professional dog photographer, former RAF, RAAF fighter pilot, retired Airbus A330, A340 captain for Virgin Atlantic Airways. It's Captain Nick.
Hi there, Jeff. I've often wondered what happens when 1010 doesn't win.
It's a sad situation.
It must be very sad. Okay, APG 715. Now, on the 3rd of May 2009, during an open day fast taxi run, X-Ray Mike 715, an ex-RAF Victor V bomber, it was housed at Bruntingthorpe Airfield, where they used to have a lot of historic aircraft. So they were doing this fast taxi run down the runway, and the aircraft unexpectedly lifted off the runway. Now, apparently, this is what the captain said. I haven't heard just what the co-pilot said. The captain said the co-pilot failed to respond to his command to pull back the throttles, causing the massive bomber to accelerate past its intended maximum speed of 100 knots. Now, former RAF pilot Bill Ramsey kept the aircraft at around 20 to 30 feet in the air for a harrowing 9 seconds. I'm not quite sure why he was so long. And then he took control of the throttles himself, safely touching down just before the end of the runway. Of course, the Civil Aviation Authority were very upset because the aircraft was not airworthy to fly. However, said that, they got away with it. So, all's well that ends well. It must have been a good show for the people watching.
Wow.
That's a little scary.
Very scary.
Yes.
Okay, very good.
Too bad Neil Landmore isn't here because he used to do a lot of work at Bruntingthorpe, I believe.
Oh, indeed. Yes, he would have known all about that.
Yeah.
All right. Well, obviously you hear that other voice. That's our wonderful producer. Let me introduce her to you from... Oh, shoot. Here we go. Let me try that again. That was not good. All right. And the other voice you hear, of course, is our producer from her studio in Toronto, Ontario, Canada, retired financier and aviation enthusiast, spreadsheet master, and our producer. It's the lovely Liz Piper.
Here I am. Hi, everybody.
Hi, Liz.
Thanks for joining us early on Friday. Nice early show for Captain Nick. Yay!
Yeah, unfortunately.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, we had to switch from yesterday to today, mainly because I had an obligation that I couldn't get out of. So, and because of that, only Captain Nick and Liz were able to make this time slot today.
It's the gray-haired group today.
Yep.
Yeah.
The old folk.
Well, it's
The
the
old
end of a
folks' time.
long working week, except I'm retired and not working. So
I know,
that's tough, isn't it?
Funny
I
how
was
that
going to
works.
show you guys. By the way, Maren, I did get the photo on Messenger. Thanks. Bye.
Cheers.
All right, bye. Okay, let's do some news.
Stand by for news.
All right, we're going to start off with this preliminary report regarding the skydiving plane crash in Missouri. The key takeaways from this prelim are, and this is from the news sources from KSL.com. So I guess that would be St. Louis. Yeah. Okay, the NTSB report found no signs of engine failure before the Missouri skydiving crash. That's interesting. When we were discussing this on an earlier show, Steph had kind of indicated in her skydiving community they were talking about an engine failure, and everything seemed to be kind of pointing toward that, but now they're saying, no, engine was working just fine. The June 14 crash killed 12, including experienced jumpers near Kansas City. The FAA is considering safety improvements. Skydive Kansas City met safety standards. Okay. Yeah, so as I said, the prelim did not flag any serious safety failures that could have led to the fiery crash of a plane last month. Let's see, they found no indication of any pre-crash mechanical malfunctions or failures in the engine. Okay, we just talked about that. The federal agency also said a post-accident sample from the fuel truck found that the fuel was free of sediment and debris. And a review of the skydiving business operator software showed that the airplane had met the weight and balance limitations for the flight. The airplane was not equipped with a crash-worthy voice or data recorder like those that record flight data on commercial planes, nor was it required to be, the investigators said. The NTSB report did note, however, that its investigators had recovered damaged GoPro cameras from the wreckage, and that's going to be helpful, I think. Let's see. There's a picture that Liz is showing from the preliminary report. Some witness had taken the picture of the skydiving aircraft, which is, what was it, a PAC 750 or something like that, Pacific Aerospace 750 XL. And we see it shortly after it lifted off from takeoff, not too high off the ground, and it is in a almost 90-degree left turn, appears, which is not optimal, that low to the ground, and yeah, shortly after takeoff. So I think Juan Brown on his Blancalirio channel put out something regarding this preliminary report and mentioned that there are some thoughts that there may have been some kind of a control malfunction, a loss of control due to controls not working the way they're supposed to. So that's, again, all speculation at this point. This picture, Liz, that we're showing on the video is, and will be in the show notes, by the way, and just a reminder to everyone, somewhere, wherever you're listening or whatever your software that you're using to listen to the show, unless it's one of the streamers like Spotify or something, well, even then, there's a link that you can find the show notes, and you'll see some of these images that we're talking about. The image here is a whiteboard, and I believe it's showing like the weight and balance data or something. That's a good question, Liz. I wish I had the answer. Let me see if I can find the preliminary report, the reference to it, depicting the various wind. Oh, this is a chart that's depicting the various wind speeds and directions for different altitudes that the pilot researched and posted on the morning of the accident, located in the operator's building at Butler, the place where the operation took place. Yeah, so it was showing, I think, the point of this probably showing that, you know, that was fully researched, this flight. It wasn't, you know, haphazard, kind of like just everybody jump in and let's go and dump you guys out. It was, you can see, meticulously planned. So,
yeah, I wonder from Broncaleria's channel where he got that data, because that there was a possibility it could have been a control malfunction, because the report says it found no indication of any pre-crash mechanical malfunctions or failures in the engine that would have prevented normal operation. So if they haven't found something, where's Broncalerio getting his information, I wonder? You know, these kind of incidents that occur close to the ground, I would immediately be asking, if there isn't an engine malfunction, what was his speed? That's a piece of information I would love to know, because we all know that you can let the speed drop and you might get a wing drop in a incipient or full stall, and normally there'd be enough height to pick that up, except when you're just in the post-takeoff region, when you're too close to the ground. And the only thing I can consider that would cause that amount of bank close to the ground would be the fact that that wing had stalled the left, and it had rolled left in a stall, and you know, we all know what happens. The nose starts to drop, and there you go. You unless you can unload the aircraft and get the wings level and pull out, the result is kind of inevitable. So that would indicate to me that it might have just been a fact that the speed got too low at that point in the flight.
well, you know, it's interesting. You kind of were quoting that sentence from the NTSB prelim report.
Yeah.
And the way that you read it was different than the way I read it.
Okay.
And it's the same words. So that they found no indication of any pre-crash mechanical malfunctions or failures in the engine. So I could see how you read it like no pre-crash mechanical malfunctions, comma, or failures in the engine. That
Yeah.
would have, like as two separate things. I kind of read it as malfunctions or failures in the engine. So I don't know.
I can see why you'd do that too, because if it's a little ambiguous where they.
I think, yeah, it is ambiguous for sure.
Yeah.
So, and honestly, I don't know where Juan got the information that it could be. I don't know. Maybe again, it's just pure speculation on his part. Maybe he doesn't have any
Yeah, well, yes.
information.
Indeed. Just it's so tragic, isn't it? Because these people are out for a great day and just going up for a jump, and all of a sudden it's wiped out. All these people and their families must be having the most awful time.
Oh, I know. Because they're watching the whole thing happen.
Yeah.
It's very sad.
Definitely not good.
Nope. Okay, let's. Yeah, we'll continue to watch for the final report and see what they determine. Speaking of final reports, we have this from the Aviation Herald. This was an incident involving a Lux Wing de Havilland -8 400 on behalf of, okay, you're going to have to help me with this one, Liz, Origny Air Services. Okay, sure. Registration 9 Hotel Lima Whiskey Bravo, performing flight 609 from London Gatwick to Guernsey with 63 passengers, 5 crew, landed on Guernsey's runway 27, but overran the end of the runway. And this was at 6:43 p.m. local time, came to a stop on soft ground about 30 meters, 100 feet past the end of the runway. There were no injuries and no visible sign of damage. No visible damage to the aircraft. Here, yeah, now I got it right. On July 2nd, 2026, which is just a little over a week ago, the AAIB, Air Accidents Investigation Branch, released their final report, concluding that the probable causes of the serious incident were the runway excursion occurred because the commander, while trying to perform a gentle landing, touched down a considerable distance beyond the landing zone with insufficient runway left to arrest the aircraft using normal braking. The application of full braking force was too late to prevent a low-speed departure from the runway. More proactive exploitation of FDM data may have detected how the flights were being conducted in the early stages of the contract, as there was evidence available of previous landings beyond the touchdown zone. In response to the serious incident, both the lessee and the lessor identified and made changes to their safety management systems. Okay. Both the available flight data and CCTV, closed-circuit TV camera or footage, demonstrated that the aircraft was floating down the runway for an extended period of time before touching down. The aircraft was flown below 10 feet above the runway surface for some 10 seconds without reducing below the approach speed, VAPP, during which time it consumed nearly half of the landing distance available. The reason given for this was that the commander, as a handling pilot, wanted a gentle touchdown. Oh. All 3 pilots occupying the flight deck stated that the runway slope had contributed to a lack of visual perspective, meaning that none of them was aware how far down the runway the aircraft had traveled by the time it did finally touch down. They would, however, have been aware of the prolonged period of time that the aircraft had been over the runway in excess of what would have been considered normal. Equally, all 3 of the pilots would have known the relatively short landing distance available, not least because this was the reason given for the commander choosing to be the handling pilot. Under the circumstances, having overshot the touchdown zone on a relatively short runway, a go-around would have been expected. Oh, wait a minute. I got to get the go-around, right? Come on. Where are you there, go-around? I see going green, but that's not it. How about, let me try this.
Well, you could press it anyway.
Yes, I just guessed. Option G.
Well done.
Come down. Yeah. Don't wait until you're floating down at 10 feet for 10 seconds on a short runway. All right. Yeah. Yeah, it is. And, Captain Nick, I think one of the things that pilots pride themselves most on a flight and kind of the highlight of the flight, or it could be the opposite, is the landing, the touchdown. We all try to like roll that thing on and make it just so like, wait, are we on the ground? Are we on the runway?
You did?
I think
Oh,
we are.
I never did that.
Uh-huh,
I
sure.
just slammed it on like I didn't care.
I know that you're lying. You're lying. Yeah. But you have to take a lot of things in consideration. Like if it's a very long runway, then you have the luxury, sort of, to maybe extend that touchdown zone a little bit to try to get a nice landing. Although we do have requirements. In general terms, I don't know if this is true for everyone, but at my company, it was touchdown in the first third of the available landing distance, or 3,000 feet, whichever is less. So if it's a short runway, for instance, a 6,000 foot runway, then you have from 0 to 2,000 feet, not 3,000 feet. But if you have a typical air carrier landing runway at these bigger airports, a 9,000 foot or longer runway is pretty standard, I'd say. Oh, IL says...
Like a true Phantom pilot, indeed.
Like a true Phantom pilot, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, Nick, what do you think?
I'm going to be a bit ruder.
Okay.
Because the turnoff that they take... Now, I haven't seen a map of the airport. I don't know if there was a taxiway before the end of the runway, but I think I can see that there is a turnoff right at the end of the runway. So, and they apparently were... I'd say what was the word you used when they said they examined their touchdown positions in the past, and they did go beyond the touchdown zone? What was the phrase you? There was evidence available of previous landings beyond the touchdown zone. So I'm just wondering if because this guy was a senior management pilot, I think he was quite senior in the company.
There's the problem.
And I'm just wondering if he's got an ulterior motive to get his aircraft parked, get the passengers off, get the next load on, get the airplane going. Let's get make up some shortfall of time. Let's get everything going. He was in the habit, perhaps, I'm only asking, I'm wondering, of landing a bit deep so that he wouldn't have to taxi all the way to the end of the runway and exit the runway. Now, I might be proved wrong because there might well be a mid-position turn-off. But I'm just wondering if he held it off just to scoot down the runway a bit and then landed and didn't realise he'd overdone it until it was all too late, because he didn't put the props into reverse for some reason. I don't know why, because normally, eventually he braked very hard. Well, I think it was obvious he was going off the end.
Yeah,
but
and as I said, too late.
Yeah, he had lots of options. He could have landed in the right place, and he could have put the props in reverse, and it might have taken him an extra 60 seconds to trundle down to the end of the runway and get clear. But I'm just wondering if he got into the habit of going, well, I'll just land a little deep, then I'll save that 60 seconds. I don't know. I might be doing the guy a big what's the word I'm looking for, Liz? Injustice. Thank you. Injustice. Is there? The Liz thinks there is a taxiway, in which case I'm not on such safe ground. Neither was he. But having said that, when they realised, or when they did go off, he then made 2 attempts to taxi the aircraft out of the soft ground and get back onto the taxiway, presumably to complete the flight, taxi back in. And I'm going, was that really a wise thing to do? So I'm just questioning some of the judgment calls here. I don't think on the surface it might be that he just misjudged the landing and he was being overzealous trying to get a nice smooth landing, but I'm not sure that holds a lot of water for me.
Yeah. All right. Well, they
Yeah,
effed up,
they did
basically.
criticise him for that, by the way, because they said when you've gone off the runway, you really don't know what sort of condition your undercarriage is in, and trying to taxi the aircraft after it's come to a halt is not a wise thing to do, and I happen to agree with them.
Yep. All right. Yeah, don't, as our producer says in the back channel, don't do that.
No,
Just don't do that. Okay. Good advice, Liz. All right. This next item is, well, let's see. It involves a video. We have a little video clip, but we also have a clip source of aerospace.globalnews.com. And it has to do with an Indian Air Force an Antonov AN-32 crash. And the headline says, puts aging workhorse in focus. Okay. Yeah, I see the picture included. It's pretty in focus. 2 days after an Indian Air Force Antonov AN-32 transport aircraft crashed while landing at Jorhat in Assam, investigators are continuing efforts to determine what caused the fatal accident that claimed the lives of 5 personnel. The aircraft crashed around 10 o'clock in the morning, local time, on June 13, during what the Air Force described as a routine sortie. 1 person survived the accident and is receiving medical treatment. While the investigation remains in its early stages, the crash has once again drawn attention to one of the oldest and most heavily used aircraft in the Indian Air Force inventory. The AN-32 has served for more than 4 decades and remains central to Indian military logistics across some of the country's most challenging terrain. It is also an aircraft whose replacement has been discussed for years but not yet delivered. Okay, so let's take a look at the video. So let me cue that up for you. And yeah, okay, here we go. Fingers crossed. Okay. Oh. Okay, we're seeing the airplane touch down. Looks pretty normal at this point. And nose wheels coming down.
Yeah, I was expecting to see something go wrong with the left main gear, but...
Oh, and then it's veering off to the left of the
Yeah.
runway pretty significantly. And then it hits some items over there on the unprepared. And then it just goes nose over and
yeah.
very violently. Yeah. I wish I'd taken that stupid music off. Yeah, okay. Let me do this. Let me see if I can find that window, and I can get, oh, no, I didn't mean to do that. Okay. See if I can find the volume control. No. See, when we're not recording, all this is easily found and selected for me. But now, this window that I have here isn't even showing the normal thing that it shows, like the volume and all the stuff that you normally see when I play a video. It's not there. Isn't that weird? Okay, well, anyway. Yeah, the video is great, so check it out in the show notes. And yeah. Do we need to replay
So
that
I
or
couldn't
no?
see any indication of why it veered off the runway, Jeff. I'm a bit bemused. We're assuming it's, I mean, they implied it was a mechanical issue because of the age of the aircraft. And it's, you know. And that's why you have, you know, people, maintenance. A lot of the parts of that aircraft would have been replaced. So it's not like everything was 50 years old on it. But
okay, we're going to watch it again, and I think I was able to figure out a alternative way to lower the volume. So let's have another go at it. Yeah, so it's still there in the background a little bit, but okay, here we go. They're
so the
touching down.
touchdown looks lovely, absolutely lovely. Nothing wrong with that. Nose will come down nice and gently, and then it just starts to, and it's quite a sharp little, in fact you can see the nose dip a little bit when it started to veer. So I'm just wondering if there was a brake issue. Now, what is terrible there is that as the wing gets damaged by presumably the gear or just the stresses of going over that soft ground, you can see a wave of fuel vapor rolling forward from the wing. And as soon as that ignites, there it goes, as soon as that ignites, that is the most dangerous aspect of any air incident on the ground, any crash on the ground. When you get fuel vaporizing, turning into an aerosol, then it becomes highly volatile. And, aviation fuel is quite hard to ignite. The petrol isn't, but the jet fuel is. I don't know if it's turboprop or what. But anyway, and that's the very sad part, because that huge pool of fuel would have gone forward and covered the flight deck. They were on a hiding to nothing, those poor folk in the front. I don't know who else was on board. One person survived, but that
Probably
is very
severely
sad.
burned, I would imagine.
I guess so, yes. Very sad, though.
All right. Another runway overrun. Okay, well, this is something that we've talked about in the past. This is from the Aviation Herald. This happened in 2024, February of 2024. It involves a Marathon Embraer ERJ 195 on behalf of Air Serbia, registration Oscar Yankee Golf Delta Charlie, performing Flight 324 from Belgrade, Serbia to Dusseldorf, Germany, with 106 people on board. It lined up on runway 30 left at taxiway Delta 5, but overran the end of the runway before becoming airborne. Now, you recall that we had a pretty deep discussion about the fact that the crew did not go to the position that they were told, and the tower controller said, are you aware that you're at the wrong intersection, basically, and are you going to be okay from that point? And let's see if I can find the wording that might be a little bit better for the final report as far as explaining the whole thing. Well, I know, Captain Nick, maybe you have a better...
I've got it, yep. So the
Okay.
tower asks Air Serbia 86 Charlie, are you familiar that you entered a runway by Delta 5 intersection? And I guess do you realize that you entered the runway by Delta 5? And they reply, yes, Tora is 22, actually, sorry, Tora, which stands for takeoff run available, is 1273 meters. I assume that is not enough. And the tower says, okay, calculate and call me. If you need, you can commence backtrack and line up a beam Delta 6, which I think was their planned intersection departure point. And they come back, the crew come back and say, okay, able to depart via Delta 5. So there is a lot of doubt as to whether they actually did a recalculation and whether they did it in the proper way, i.e. both of them did a calculation of their takeoff performance. But it's pretty obvious now that if only one of them did it, he made a mistake, because plainly they couldn't get off in the runway available. And I think from the interviews they mentioned, they said the crew realized that they were running very short a runway. They went to full power to Toga, and despite that, they overran the runway by a considerable distance, hitting aerials and damaging the aircraft as they did so. And they were very lucky that they were able then to climb away and bring it back and make a successful emergency landing afterwards. And I don't think there were any injuries.
No.
Were there? No.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, I recall, maybe I'm thinking of a different incident, but I think that when they were confirming the runway available or necessary for takeoff, that they had used the reciprocal runway, and that kind of led them to believe that, oh yeah, they were fine. But it was just an instance of putting in the wrong numbers. Garbage in, garbage out.
Yep, absolutely.
It gave you an answer, but you gave it bad information to do the calculations.
So the air traffic were being very helpful. They were offering them the easy option of continuing to taxi to the correct intersection. The captain refused. He then pressurized, and this is straight from the report, he then pressurized the first officer that the runway length was sufficient. And the first officer sadly succumbed and did not cross-check the computation on his laptop, which I suspect was probably their company procedure, was to have both pilots independently make this safety-critical calculation.
Sure, yep.
And then compare the numbers, and if there's a discrepancy, you both start again and redo it.
Yep. Agreed.
I made a mistake here because I said they went to full power, but accelerating through 80 knots, the captain notes the runway was very short. The first officer agreed, but did not adjust power settings. They were flexing to 33 degrees C, so they were using a flex of reduced power takeoff.
Oh boy.
And between V1 and V rotate, the first officer began rotation, raising the nose to 10 degrees, which results in a tail strike. Well, that's inevitable. If you're doing it early and you're trying to get the aircraft to fly, the chances are you'll rotate, and the aircraft won't get off the runway, and as a result, you'll bang the tail on. So all of this is just a nightmare, and I despair at crews, particularly captains who ought to know better, who for some reason become fixated on not accepting the fact that they've taxied on at the wrong entry point, and not being willing to sit back, examine their actions, and go, this is not good, let's regroup, start again, let's go find the correct one, or let's do some proper numbers. And you just go, that's why we consider our profession one of professionals, and that is just so unprofessional to take that attitude to your flight.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. Yes? Oh, okay. Regarding the previous article or news item regarding the Indian Air Force crash of the Antonov AN-32, he says asymmetric thrust, or AL in our live audience says asymmetric thrust reverser deployment. Yeah, well, that would definitely give you...
Could have been. I couldn't see any evidence, but then again, you're probably not going to on a video of that quality. Did you find that out from a reliable source, AL? Or... Yeah.
We'll have to wait for him to respond to that. It's probably going to be 20,
Or is that
30
just
seconds.
an opinion? Well, I say it could be a very valid opinion.
Yeah. Yeah, something caused an asymmetric deceleration and subsequent departure from the runway for sure.
Yeah, whether it was a brake issue or a rudder hard over, although I tried to look at the rudder when it came into view as it was leaving the runway. It didn't look like it was over deflected. No.
Yeah.
Could have been. I don't know if this aircraft has nozzle steering, but that can always be an issue if your nozzle steering's gone wobbly.
Okay.
No.
He says no, there's nothing published. Okay, so that's probably his speculation.
So, yeah,
might be,
it
very
is another
good
possibility,
speculation.
definitely.
Yeah. Okay.
Thanks for that.
All right. This last news item is a video, and it is the title of which is this the future of air travel? So let's see what this is all about.
Well, it's certainly not going to go supersonic, is it?
Oh wait, I think I need to readjust my volume settings. Hang on. So I'm going to have to start it over. See, that's the danger when I make this alternative way of adjusting volume. I have to remember to put it back to where it's supposed to be. Okay, so if you can throw that up again, Liz, and here we go. Fingers crossed.
Commercial helicopters in New York City could soon be replaced with aircraft like these. It's an all-electric aircraft by Joby Aviation. To get a closer look, we had the opportunity to fly in the helicopter behind Joby's aircraft to really see it in action. It flies vertically like a helicopter, but then can glide like a plane. And it just finished a demonstration flight from JFK. What's so interesting to me about this moment as an airline reporter is that a lot of planes that you see in the sky were developed decades ago, and they've been sort of updated slowly over time. It's extremely rare that you see a brand new aircraft designed from scratch. These aircraft have reached a point where they can actually start to have some real-world tests. And the Trump administration doesn't want to lose out to other countries, particularly China, which has led on drone manufacturing and manufacturing of electric vehicle batteries. But the reality is that there's a lot to learn before these can carry passengers. The power needs are extreme. Right now, they can generally fly for about 30 to 60 minutes, maybe 100 miles or so, but there are some hurdles, and price is one of them. It will cost a lot to produce these until they can reach scale and put them to use. Joby has partnered with Toyota, which is helping them with their manufacturing, and they're already being used and tested by the military because they're very quiet. Watching this demonstration, I think what it showed was that these aircraft are capable. I mean, the technology is there. They were able to take off from an airport and land in one of the busiest cities in the world. That doesn't mean that they're ready to carry passengers, but they're making real progress.
All right. And that video is from the New York Times.
I love that.
There we are.
It's a really nice looking design, isn't it? And the fact that it can do wing-borne flight is a great boon because, you know, it must increase the range of the aircraft considerably because a lot less power required once you've got the wings producing lift. Mm-hmm. Yes, it could well be, but it's not going to be the future of airline, long-range airline travel, I'm afraid. But it could well be, you know, the taxi of the future. We could have them buzzing around cities without, you know, any concern.
Yeah. Very interesting. All right, in the show notes for sure. So
interesting, but stupid.
Yeah, very interesting, but stupid. Yeah, from Laugh-In. Okay, let's get to know us. Here we go. That segment of the show where we get to share what we have been up to between episodes. Last episode was a little over a week ago, right before the Independence Day holiday here in the United States of America. It was, I think, the day or two before the actual Independence Day celebration here, the 4th of July. And as long as I'm talking about the 4th of July, I might as well just continue with what happened, what I did.
Go on.
Let's see. My new friend invited me to join him, the one that I went up and had some great barbecue at this guy's house up in Cumming, Georgia, and we smoked cigars. You'll recall the picture of me looking like the Godfather, sitting there with smoking my stogie in the garage. That guy invited Shreyas and I up and some other couples for a party at the pool at their neighborhood. And so I started my day, Independence Day, singing at a special Independence Day Mass at 8:30 in the morning. Then after that, I and Shreyas drove up to the city to the north and spent some time at the pool. And again, great barbecue was had by all. And then I needed to leave for a short period of time to head back down to Roswell to sing again at the Vigil Mass. It's funny because when I was invited to join him for this, I'd completely forgotten that you sing every Saturday afternoon, Jeff, and like this is no different. Although in my head I'm thinking, well, it's a holiday. So, you know, yeah. But then I went, oh yeah, that didn't. They still do the vigil mass, so I still have to sing. So, so I came back down, sang, and then went back up to Cumming and picked up Shreyas, and then we were invited by a family that I've known for many, many years, decades actually. My family and their family had children going to school at the same place in Buckhead at a private Catholic school, and we carpooled, and because it was a kind of a long trek back and forth every day, a couple of times a day, so we wanted to share that burden, and so we became very good friends of that family. And I happened to have run into the wife, Rochelle. She was out trying to find red, white, and blue M&Ms because I guess there was some kind of brownie recipe that she was making that required the use of these Independence Day colors. And so after that, they said, "Hey, what are you doing? Tonight for the 4th, or maybe that was the day before. Anyway, what are you doing for the 4th of July?" And I said, "Well, I don't know." He said, "Why don't you come over and join us for some hamburgers and we can watch fireworks and stuff." So I went, "Oh, okay." So that's what we did. I said, "You mind if I, bring my new friend?" And they said, "Yeah, no problem." So we had a great time. They still live in the same house that they had lived in 20-something years ago when we started doing all the carpooling and everything else. It was, and it was, what's really weird is they had many children, a good Catholic family, and the two youngest are twins, boy and girl, and they were never part of the carpool because they were, at the time, they were too young to be going to school. But the only one of their children was one of those twins, and Maeve is her name, and their last name is Doyle, so all the children's names are Irish names. And Maeve was there at the house. She's 22 years old, and full-grown human being. Oh yeah, man, it made me feel very old. But Kevin, the patriarch of the family, is also an amateur home brewer. And so we got to sample some of his local brew and his keg fridge out in the garage, and I had a couple of glasses of that, and it was really, really good. So yeah, all in all, it was great. And we went over to their, just right out the door and to the right, maybe, like 100 yards to their community pool. And that was a good vantage point to watch some fireworks. And so I'm going to see if I can find that in my, so if you'll share my video there, and let me, why does it keep doing that? Huh. Yeah, they just flash them on and off. I'm trying to, I'm hitting return, and the return is supposed to make it play. Why is it not playing?
Good question.
Okay. I'm glad you're finding this very... Okay. Well, I give up. I don't know what to do. Anyway, trust me, it was beautiful. Dang it. Wait a minute. Okay, now I'm bound and determined to show it. So I'll do it a different way.
Reload it, try again.
Yeah, I'm going to do this instead. I'm going to do video file. Videos. I'll have a lot of post work. Where did it go? Oh, I don't see it here either. Shoot. Okay, never mind. You just use your imagination. It was a bit... Yeah, so I'll add it in post, maybe. So their neighborhood is literally right across the street from the Roswell Area Park, which is the location of the city of Roswell's fireworks extravaganza. So we were very, very close. You could see it over the tree line, but it was still, a good vantage point to watch the fireworks. So that was fun. Yeah. Trust me, you'll just have to imagine it. It was thrilling for sure. Yeah. So that was the 4th. That was Saturday of last week. And everything since then has been just your standard stuff, doing some more singing on Sunday. And oh yeah, I am. Oh yeah, I do. Thank you, Liz, for reminding me. Okay. So I have come up with my travel itinerary for heading up to Oshkosh AirVenture next week, and I have decided I'm going to leave on Thursday morning and head up. My first stop is going to be in Scottsburg, Indiana, I think, at a Harvest Host location called Sedona Farms. Yeah, Scottsburg, Indiana. Sedona Farms. It's just off the interstate, I think 75, or it could be 65 at that point, 75, I think. It's a farm, and they have electrical hookups and such, so I have a reservation to stay there on Thursday, late afternoon, evening. And then the next day, I'm going to continue the trek up and eventually pass by Chicago and Milwaukee and make it up not far from Lake Winnebago and Oshkosh, Wisconsin, in a place called Random Lake, Wisconsin. And it's just a random lake, I guess, that they have this farm. It's called the Jeff Lean Farm. Jeff. I think
Jeff
what
Lean.
really.
So you've got to go up there leaning a bit, have you?
Oh yeah, or lean as far as fat, lean. Maybe.
Oh yeah. Okay, possibly. Lean Jeff. Yes.
I'm wondering if the wife's name is like something Lean, like Kathleen, and maybe the husband is Jeff.
be.
Jeff Lean. I don't know. Anyway. Is it I-65? Okay. Thank you. Okay. 65. That's it. Yeah. At some point. Greg is correct. At some point, I switched from 75 to 65. Random Lake is only just a little over an hour away from Whitman Field and at AirVenture, EAA AirVenture. So I'll be all set up for Saturday morning to make a nice leisurely trek up the little bit of distance remaining in my.
Watch out for the plastic dustbins.
I will have to definitely watch out for those plastic dustbins. Yeah, I know. Every time I go up there, I think of that, Nick. So that's going to be on Friday. And then I'll be arriving at AirVenture at Whitman Field, Camp Scholler. Actually, not Camp Scholler technically, but that general vicinity on Saturday. And from that point on, Alpha Juliet and myself and a couple of other guys are going to be sharing an Airbnb, an old property, an old home in the downtown Washington Street, Washington Avenue neighborhood, I believe. Anyway, I'm going to try to do a good job. I'm going to try to post where I am at various points during the entire duration of the AirVenture. And where am I going to post it? That's really a good question, Liz. Maybe
secret.
You just have to know where to look for it. I don't know. Maybe on X and Facebook. I don't know. I'm sure that Liz will be happy to help me facilitate that. Maybe. I don't know. We'll see. You might be busy. Oh, that's right. You're going to be up at the cottage. Yeah. So during that week, you're. Okay, cool. I'll try to let everybody know where I am and what we're doing. Yeah, Saturday I'll have to pick up the media credentials and then I think is it Sunday? I think that there's a special ceremony. Remember the Vietnamese lady that I'd met last AirVenture and who sadly was fatally injured in a crash in her aircraft that she was attempting to solo around the world. The first Asian female to circumnavigate the globe. And as I said, sadly, Antu, she was the founder of the Asian Women in Aerospace and Aviation, I believe is what AWAA stands for. There's a special memorial service for those that are being inducted into the memorial wall. So I'll be doing that on Sunday. So you can find me there. I think it's Sunday. If not, I'll try to post something to let people know. But we are planning on, having maybe some impromptu meetups here and there. Again, we'll try to post that for everybody that follows us, and probably record a show sometime, here or there. We're not planning on doing a show this next week. It's kind of a travel week, and Liz is really busy with things, so we'll see. If anything, if we do something, or if I do something, it might be just a solo venture, and without the help of Liz, so I'll be off the rails, I'm sure. That might be interesting, I don't know. I've been thinking about maybe doing something. Yeah, like a car crash or a train derailment. Could be a small train, not a big one. Yes, I know. So, we'll see. But right now we're planning on not having a show next week, and then hopefully during the week of AirVenture at Oshkosh, we'll have at least one recording, and hope to see you all up there. Okay, IL and our live audience. I'm trying to get back to the StreamYard window. Here we go. He says, I'll be at Oshkosh all week with Brian Coleman. I'd love to meet up. Looking forward to seeing you. Okay, great. I think that Brian Coleman is also going to be with Tim Van Ram. I think they're renting a trailer or something, and they'll be at Camp Scholler. So I'm looking forward to seeing so many of you. Yeah, definitely trouble. Okay, that's our update on AirVenture and my travel plans in the next couple of weeks. Oh, after Oshkosh, I plan on joining the producer of APG in her second week at her cottage up on Owen Sound, Georgian Bay, on Lake Huron. So maybe we'll do a show from there. Yeah, why not? Okay. Oh yeah, Al says all four of us. So him, Tim, Brian, and who's the fourth? Okay. Mystery, yeah, Fred Sampson.
Haven't seen him for a while.
Yeah, I know. Is he even alive? I don't know. Yeah, if you're listening, Fred, make yourself known. Mark. Mark, the Van Ram brothers. Okay, so Tim and Mark, Al, and Brian Coleman. Okay, cool. That's it for me. Well, that was a lot more than I usually have, so
that's good.
Go, Captain Nick.
That's good. Well, I suppose the highlight of my week was to go on somebody else's podcast. Yeah! No, not really. But it was good, though. I was invited to chat to the lovely folk of the History of Aviation podcast. And they have been around for quite a while. I think they've done about 90 episodes. The top dog there is Derek Beeler, and he's an aviation historian and tells good stories. And he's a great researcher. His producer, who I momentarily met because she was busy, so she wasn't really producing this show, is Julie. And the other co-presenter who was on at the time was Shay Jones. And Shay has grown a considerable beard since that picture was taken.
Yeah,
it's got to be about 9 inches. Yes, got to be about 9 inches long now. And the other co-host, the very handsome-looking Julian Martinson, sadly wasn't around, so I couldn't say hello to him. But we had a very relaxed time, chatting about aeroplanes. And if you are interested in finding out more about them, because I really enjoyed being on their podcast.
Yeah, it was a really good show.
Yeah, thanks. You can find them on Apple Podcasts. Just look for the History of Aviation podcast. They're on Facebook, History of Aviation podcast, all one word. Instagram, same thing. On YouTube, History of Aviation podcast 732. And they're also on TikTok at history_of_aviation_pod. So all that is there, and I guess they're they're a nice bunch of guys. They're mainly sort of to do with museums. I think both Shay and Derek work at a railway museum, I think, but they're both passionate about aviation. So I think they're using their history talents. With trying to talk about, no, they are successfully talking about aspects of aviation that interest them, like the Payne Stewart Learjet tragedy and D.B. Cooper and Hemingway's two plane crashes and Cold War radar stations, all that kind of stuff. So,
wow,
very good. Very good. Enjoyed
it
that.
really makes sense if they work in a railway museum in Chattanooga, Tennessee, because, the Chattanooga choo-choo.
Oh, indeed,
Choo,
yes.
choo.
I very nearly, when on one of my Atlanta trips, rented a car just to drive there to say I'd been to Chattanooga, because what a great name.
It is.
Yeah,
It's a great
beats
city.
Random Lake, doesn't it?
Yeah, I don't know. Does it? I guess so. Yeah.
So do I. Okay, not much else to say other than I have had the most wonderful massage today. So I go every couple of weeks to see a sports masseur who pummels me and keeps me limber. So I'm feeling very laid back right now. Body is just glowing. So thank you, Bo,
what about
for
the
rubbing me again. Sorry?
Ooh, wow. I'm sorry.
Did I distract you there for a second?
Yeah, you did. What do we have? One of those kind of masseurs here in my area.
I think you probably do. Just
yeah.
try Yellow Pages, or what do you call it? Craigslist.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's the one I'm looking for. Petanque. Any update on your sporting endeavors?
Yeah, actually, we had a match Wednesday evening, and what a great match that was. We played, started at 7 o'clock, it got quite dark. Each of us we played in teams of 3, and everyone played each other, so there were we each had to play 3 matches so that everyone got to play each other. And our team won all 3 matches, and so did one of the other teams. They won all 3 of those, so we beat our opposition, which had come all the way from Cronwell Club, and beat them 6-3. A very satisfying result, and I was very pleased with that. So that was good. That's going on, and then tomorrow I've got to be up early. We've got an all-day competition, so really looking forward to that, although the weather has been a bit hot and it will continue to be rather hot tomorrow, so got to take some suntan lotion and lots of cold drinks to get through that day. But
absolutely,
yeah. Anyway,
for proper hydration.
Now, since we had the air conditioning put in the house last year, we've been running it constantly, more or less, for the last couple of weeks, and it's an absolute boon. In fact, we're getting the neighbours coming round now to watch because Wimbledon's on, so we've got neighbours in watching Wimbledon in air-conditioned comfort. I think they're enjoying that. No,
yeah, you should get your money back from the install.
That would work. That would work, though, wouldn't it? Yeah, exactly right. Yes, cover art. So let's see. There it is. Thank you, Liz. Had some good suggestions, and I've tried to include some of them in the show. Like we had underwater with 103% humidity. Now, I don't know how you can get humidity over 100%, because I reckon over 100% you're in actual water. So So anyway, we got a sign there, and we've also got, it was Steffi's suggestion for the show title, which is I Follow Rivers, because she said that's what IFR means, I follow rivers, instead of instrument flight rules. So we've got an big IFR route thing there. But yeah, no, there's something to do with Jeff flipping the bird at rugby players.
These very huge rugby players.
Well, they were. Why did we come up with that? What was the?
Yeah, I was going to the old Blind Dog pub to meet up with Shreyas's rugby fellow players, and he did the speed up and honk your horn, and I flipped the bird at these people that I don't know, and they don't know me, and they didn't see Shreyas with me, and thought, who is this guy flipping the bird at me? And they wanted to beat me up.
Yeah, you can see the result on the next image there, which Liz will now put up. There you go.
Oh,
Jeff is in a coffin, and they're about to slam the lid on. He's flipping them the bird, and they're just staring down into this coffin, looking extremely grumpy.
Yeah.
Yes.
Apparently.
He one finger
bold statement.
got stuck. Indeed. So I wouldn't recommend you do that again, Jeff. And mind you, can only die once, can't you?
That's true.
Now, you can actually see the show number of this
on
slide.
the headstone.
Yeah, look on your headstone, yes.
Yeah, over there to the left, Liz.
7-1.
There it is.
It's not easy to see even with that magnification, but it does say 714. And if you go back to the previous one, Liz, because on the coffin lid is the logo.
I see it.
So there you go. And we've got a couple more, I think. So there we
look
go.
at
There's the
penguin looks like a duck.
It does a bit, doesn't it? Whack, whack. The penguin is enjoying a swim in the river. And we've got Steph having a swim. Now, one of the suggestions was hail Steph. So that's Steph doing a hail, I think. Either that or she's doing the backstroke.
Yeah.
It's
it does look like
synchronized
synchronized.
swimming, yes.
And it almost looks like there's like an alligator like right behind her about to. I guess those are rocks.
I think she's just blowing a few bubbles. She probably had beans for lunch.
Ah, okay.
Yeah. That's probably it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I had a
Up.
bit of fun with that one. So thanks.
Yeah,
Excellent.
very nice.
That's me done.
All right. We'll just mention that if you're interested in supporting the show financially, we have something called the Coffee Bar Club, the Coffee Fund. And you can find out how to join or use one of two mechanisms that we have to contribute to our show. If you are getting value from this, or maybe even slight value, you might consider giving us some slight value as well to help support us. The original OG method is through a PayPal donation page, and so information about that can be found on the website. And also you can become a patron of the show via patreon.com/airlinepilotguy. But again, instructions on how you can participate in the Coffee Bar Club can be found at our website at airlinepilotguy.com/coffee. And thank you very much for your consideration. We appreciate that. All right.
Sorry, I wouldn't mind the quick 30 seconds.
Okay.
Super.
Yeah, it's like 6 or 7 hours a day, I think, something like that. Which, honestly, is not. I'm going to add you to this stage there so we can talk. Yeah. When I start driving, it doesn't. I mean, before I know it, I'm like, oh, I'm already here. Like it doesn't seem like 6 or 7 hour drive to me. It just seems like
Okay.
a nice
I
little
know you like driving, so.
Sunday drive. I kind of I can listen to podcasts and whatever, and I just get all involved in that.
Are there any
Stop and
Buc-ee's
stretch
on
my
it?
feet and get some diesel. Stretch my feet, stretch my legs, and get some diesel fuel here and there, and a bite to eat. What were you asking?
Are there any Buc-ee's on the way?
There's got to be. Well, I know for sure there's one just to the north of here on I-75, heading up between here and Chattanooga.
Okay.
Actually,
Yeah.
I forgot exactly the name of the city that I think it starts with a C, but anyway, it's just kind of halfway between here and
Cool.
Chattanooga.
So pretty close to Atlanta.
Yeah, not too far. And then I believe there are probably some more locations along my route. I should probably look at a map and
Yeah. I'll
better
I'll
answer.
do some.
I'm back.
He's back. Okay,
Okay.
bye.
All right. I had Liz join me so that everybody could hear what she was saying, and it's always nice to
Excellent.
see Liz, even though she doesn't like to be on the big screen with us. Okay. Okay. Yeah, because I think, where did Liz go? I don't hear anything anymore. Okay, let me get set up for the feedback. Dun, dun, dun. Was there anything else I was going to mention about Oshkosh and getting to know us? Or was there anything I was going to mention about the show? Okay. Yeah, we can vamp. And it'll give me a little chance to think before you come back. Liz is
Oh, you'll need
taking,
longer than that.
yeah, well, it'll take hours for me to come up with a simple thought. Oh, I know what I was going to talk about. Oh, Richmond, Kentucky. Where's Richmond, Kentucky? I don't know where that is. So a lot of people used to listen to our show via Google. Did they call theirs podcast too? Google Podcasts? Google
Can't remember. It's a long time ago now. Wasn't
something,
it?
but
They wound that up.
But they, as Google likes to do, they deprecate things, and so people were saying, "How can we listen to you on YouTube Music?" And so I figured out a way to load the RSS feed, the feed that contains all the information about the episodes in a podcasting fashion, and so to do that. It creates, if you go to our YouTube channel and you go there and you click on the tab that says videos, well, those are actually the audio only episodes that go in the RSS feed to do the YouTube podcast thing. And I think it's not very clear. It's not clear to me either why they put that under that tab. But so people have said, where's the actual video? So you have to go to because we record this using a live video audio platform called StreamYard, and it goes to the YouTube platform, and it records our recording of the show, but it's under the live tab. And so I've tried to set it up so if you go to our YouTube channel, that should be the first thing that you see there are all the live episodes. But if you get there from another way, you might end up finding yourself in the videos tab, and then you're going, well, it's just like a still video. It's a picture of the show artwork that Captain Nick does for us every week. But that's it. It's not moving. It's just you hear us. It's the audio podcast, but it's not the video. So I just wanted to help kind of clean up or clarify what's going on there. It's. I wish there was a way for me to fix it. At one point, I thought, well, I'll just do this, and that way people won't see that listed in the video tab. And then I found out that, oh yeah, it just removed it from the entire podcasting world. So that's not a good idea. So let me fix that, get it back to where it was. But anyway, so if anybody happens to be wondering why and watching this actual live video recording, that's it. Okay. I think there was something else that I was going to talk about too, but I didn't write it down, so I can't remember. So I guess we should probably move on with some feedback. Are you ready, Liz?
Yeah, certainly.
Oh no, Liz is
Liz.
still. She's gone. Okay.
She's still vacant.
Let's see. Let me set up the feedback. The first one is some video. So I've been batting 500 at best with the video today. I don't know what's going on with that. But this next one is kind of interesting. It involves across the pond interaction, just as you're seeing right now. I'm from the United States of America, and Captain Nick from the United Kingdom. And this next piece of feedback involves...
I just want to say, not all British Airways pilots are a very good representative
yeah, I know.
The British people, but there you go.
Well, neither are all the controllers at John F. Kennedy a very good representation of U.S. controllers.
Oh, well, that probably evens it out then.
I think so. Okay, I think I heard the door closing in the background, so I think Miss Liz and her dog Poppy have taken care of business, and she should be joining us here again shortly, but we'll wait until she's here because she can help coordinate with me the video.
Well, I finished my amber ale. It's time for an IPA now.
So, how do you pronounce Wigan, Captain Nick?
Wigan.
Wigan. Okay, just as you would expect it to be.
Yes.
That's why I was. That's why I wasn't sure.
Nothing weird about that one, except
like,
the people, of course.
What's Wajon?
Yes.
Huh?
And
Yeah.
Dave from
Everybody
Wigan
knows
is probably extremely good representation of the weird Wiganers.
Ah. She must be giving Poppy some sustenance. I hear her fumbling around in the kitchen of her condominium. We're talking about Liz right now, not Dave from Wigan.
Wigan, they've got a very good rugby league team.
Oh, do they? Okay. No problem, Liz. Everything taken care of? Oh, okay. Yeah, no problem.
No problemo.
All right, so we're... Oh, I need to hit the feedback bumper. Here we go.
Captain, incoming message.
And before we start the feedback, we should mention Maine Marin, also known as Ayal, sent the... No? Oh, those are two different people? Oh, okay, I'm sorry. Oh, that's right. Okay. Why did I don't know why I got all mixed up. Anyway, Ayal sent Liz a picture. Oh, see, wow, I'm so confused. Okay, let's just start over, Jeff. Well, this is not going to be on the audio podcast anyway, so I just forget all that stuff I just said. And let me say it this way. Steve, Maine Marin, sent a picture from the spot that where he's listening to the show and how he's listening to the show. He's on a boat. Now I'm probably going to have to share that now that I've mentioned it, right? Okay. Okay. Let me do this.
Eastern Egg Rock. One another.
Where are you?
Eastern Egg Rock, he's just said.
Oh, I know. I mean,
Yes, I know.
I'm talking to
What
my
do you
little
mean?
windows on my machine. Where
Oh,
are you? Where did you
no.
go? Oh, here we go. Okay. There you are. Okay. So, and you can put that up if you like, but he's on a boat, very nice boat, it appears, passing Eastern Egg Rock, where the puffins are in the summertime.
In the
Cool.
summertime.
And he's listening to us recording this live. That's cool.
Excellent.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, appreciate that. Okay. Everything is so difficult for me today for some reason. I don't know why. Okay. I need to
How's that brain
reshare.
transplant going anyway?
It apparently didn't take. My body is rejecting the brain.
Oh, well.
That doesn't look like what I'm supposed to be seeing. Okay, yeah, well, that's not the right window. I'm having so much. I know, that's why I have to. Thank you. Okay. Now I see the proper window. It has the video actually in it, which is good. Definitely helps. All right. We're going to start off our feedback section or segment with this piece of feedback from, where did it go? Dang it.
I can see it waiting to be.
No, I know.
added to
So
the
what
stage.
I mean is, like, where is my window for Evernote? There it is. Found it. All right, we're going to start off the feedback segment today from some video feedback from David Shannon, and it involves a BA pilot versus JFK ATC. David from Wigan says, hi, Liz, Jeff, and Nick. How did he know it was just going to be the three of us today? That's pretty cool. Love the show, longtime listener. Thought you would like this one. Okay, this is from YouTube. And now, Liz, if you'll put that up there, fingers crossed, I'll hit the return button and it should start playing.
Flight 5 November, everyone, 228, line is delayed, RVR is 1000. Line up, I'm waiting, runway to the right, along the plane OMS.
Kennedy, Seabird 18 Alpha Heavy, are you declaring LVOs? Kennedy from Speedbird 18 Alpha Heavy, are you declaring LVOs?
I'm not sure. I don't understand the question. Speedbird 118 Alpha Heavy.
Roger, you just said RVR 1,000 feet. Are you declaring low visibility operations or not?
I'm not declaring anything, no.
Roger, but you've given 1,000 feet RVR, correct?
That is correct.
Roger, that means that you have just said that you have low visibility. So please assure us that you have got LVOs in force, or we cannot depart in less than 1,000 feet of visibility.
British Airways 18 Alpha Heavy. I do not understand what you're saying.
Roger, it is very simple, sir.
Really?
You have declared RVR of 1,000 feet. That means that your visibility is low. LVO is standard ICAO terminology. Have you got low visibility procedures in force or not?
No, sir.
Roger, the 18 Alpha is unable to make a departure in these conditions.
Understood. Speedbird 18 Alpha Heavy, make a right turn, enter 2 right, and exit left at Fox Bravo. The spot for you till they increase.
Wow.
That's not really a solution.
Well,
I mean, does he mean JFK can't operate in low visibility conditions? Because
I
that is
don't-
patently incorrect.
Yeah.
Because they've got Cat 3 capable runways. They must be able to operate in low visibility.
I think there might be problem with the terminology being used or whatever. And
Well, I don't know. LVO seems pretty international to me. But is it to you? Because obviously, from my background, I know exactly what LVO procedures are and what those conditions are.
Yeah, it's such a rare thing when you're actually using like the SMIGS charts, and like the lighted, the different lights that you have to follow under those low visibility conditions. But yes, you're right. John F. Kennedy International Airport certainly has low visibility operations procedures. I don't know what the confusion was from the controller. I get a sense that he was just irritated by, the almost condescending tone and being schooled by the BA pilot. Yeah.
Sadly, he has a point when
according
to FAA regulations, when the visibility in RVR drops below 1,200 feet, airports are required to implement strict low visibility procedures, and I'm reading that directly from the FAA advisory circular. So, I mean, the most important things are that it mandates protected ILS areas. So people who are doing Cat 2 and Cat 3 ILS approaches know that the equipment on the ground is being protected from disruption by big metal things like airplanes passing in front of them and bending the beams and causing. It's because obviously you rely entirely on the ground equipment to guide you into the end of the runway, and if a damn great big airplane has gone past and into the area, the critical area, then it creates a danger. And I don't like the way he put it. He's being a bit self-righteous and standing on a bloody soapbox, but I'm afraid the guy from British Airways is absolutely correct.
Yeah. And you know what? I would bet that they do have these procedures already implemented because of the low visibility, less than 1,000 RVR. Maybe they're just not used to using that terminology or admitting it, or just assuming that people understood that, below 1,000 feet, that this is what happens. But so it was, I think, another example of just bad communication.
Yeah,
going on there.
I agree. At least I hope so, because that controller seemed nonplussed by the question, and I think most professional pilots would be going, no, that's absolutely, I don't understand what the problem is. We all understand what he was getting at.
And we need to have you say that, because otherwise we can't operate in these conditions.
Exactly. Yeah, I mean, he's obviously got something in his manuals that say, in low visibility operations, you must confirm that low visibility procedures are in force. So to operate safely. Having said that, British Airways aren't renowned for being polite, so
And and Kennedy controllers aren't really, known for being really.
So we've got kind of an irresistible force, immovable object situation.
Sit back and grab some popcorn and enjoy the show.
Indeed, watch the fireworks. Yes, it's the 4th of July again.
Yeah. All right.
That was a good one.
Oh, Eva, yes, we did allude to this video on a previous show or last show. Eva sent us in some feedback, video feedback in Facebook. What in the Yeehaw Texas barbecue is going on here? And if I had been, ready to go, I would have played this right here. Here it is. Yeehaw! What in the yeehaw is going on here? All right. Good morning, APG gang. Again, sorry for being so quiet. I've been following along with all the shows, though seem to perfectly miss most of the live shows. This afternoon is hopefully going to work out nicely so I can join you. And I believe she did when she, shortly after she sent this to us. I just saw this video on the Vass Aviation Instagram feed and knew I had to send it to you for the show. Initially, it's so implausible that I thought it had to be AI. But some mild sleuthing on Flight Radar 24 revealed that the last flight this aircraft appears to be this. Oh, let's see. The last flight for this aircraft appears to be this flight, clearly showing the shenanigans over Horseshoe Bay. Okay, so she has a link to the shenanigans, and we're going to hopefully play these shenanigans. Are we ready, Liz? All right. There's a big airplane coming down the runway with its gear up. It's very low. It's a very large airplane.
Ooh.
And that little inset in this video kind of hid the right wingtip and how close the right wingtip got to touching the surface of the Earth.
Yes, indeed. And spoiling everyone's day.
No kidding. Do you want to see that again?
Sure.
Yeah, so, yes, it's a shame that I've seen several of these video clips without that inset there showing the... Yeah, just trust me when I say that wingtip looked like it may have been 10 feet from touching.
Yeah, that's generous.
Okay, generous, yeah.
So,
wow.
Because he puts that bank on pretty sharply, and he hasn't really started climbing at that point. So, he just lowers that wingtip right, so close to the ground.
So what is this? This is the Flight Radar 24 images show an aircraft in Mammoth Freighters livery. Mammoth Freighters livery, a company that operates out of Fort Worth, Texas. Well, there you go. Bunch of cowboys over there, huh? According to the FAA registry, the aircraft's now owned by JetTran LLC, a leasing and aircraft solutions company that operates out of Horseshoe Bay Airpark. Now, when I saw Horseshoe Bay, I thought, well, that sounds like somewhere in Alaska or Canada or something like that. But it's right there in Texas, not far at all from Fort Worth. Let's see. I can't imagine Qatar would be too happy with an aircraft still in their livery getting up to these sorts of antics. Yeah, so it looks like at some point Qatar had the airplane and it was still painted in the Qatar livery.
Now, interestingly, I just happened to catch, by pure coincidence today, Pete, the Irish pilot. He's a lovely bloke from my old airline, and he analyzes a lot of these kind of little video clips in a very direct manner. Is that polite way of putting it? Anyway. Yeah. He said that both the Qatar and Mammoth Freighters deny having anything to do with this. They say it was nothing to do with them. So they're just disowning it completely. And I'm just wondering if it was owned actually by somebody else. Was the aircraft just being repositioned by a random crew that were rented for the day? But anyway, he was saying the big boys who are being named here, like those two companies, are just washing their hands of this. But
yeah, Metrodoc says...
Yeah, the FAA are looking into it.
Yeah. It was an old Delta 777.
It was Delta's fault.
Well, it's got to be. Yeah, I probably had something to do with it. I don't know.
Yes, probably.
But I did notice that the registration on the aircraft was a Delta registration.
Oh,
still.
Clever. Excellent.
You know what happened? It's like at the FBO. Somebody had the 777 keys and they just left them on the counter, and somebody just walked up and went, "Yeah, what's this 777 on here? I'm going to go and take this thing for a spin."
Good idea. Yeah, absolutely. Hold my beer.
Well, yeah, of course it's Boeing. If Boeing hadn't made that airplane, Liz, it would not have happened. So definitely it's Boeing's fault. Greg mentions that this place, Horseshoe Bay or whatever they call it, is 150 miles southwest of Fort Worth. Yeah,
in the middle of nowhere,
Texas. Middle of nowhere, Texas. Like who could possibly know that we did anything like that?
Absolutely,
we're in the middle of Texas. There's people don't have cell phones with cameras and videos and stuff. Yeah. Anyway, so thank you, Eva, for sending that in. Hope everything is going well in your training. And we always love hearing from you. Let's see. Oh, speaking of MetroDoc, Ernest, he sent us something from TikTok. Let me see here. Another video. So again, if we'll slap that thing up there, Liz. There we go.
Delta 2476. We're shut down for 40 minutes, you say?
Yes, sir. Ground Blue Streak 5505. Is that shut down for all departures?
Ground American 3224. Just to clarify with all that, are departures shut down now, or they will be shutting down?
Departure stopped at 1640, and departures will not resume until 1720.
All right, thank you, American 3224. And for American 3224, you know what's the cause of that? Are they changing directions or?
Negative. It's for some practice work for the UFC fight on Sunday.
All right, thanks.
Okay, so you know, I've been in and out of DCA, Reagan Washington National Airport. Is very close to the Capitol, the White House, the U.S. I mean, yeah, the whole complex up there in Washington D.C. Very close by. And when you ever have an event that includes some kind of like a flyby or something like that, it's not unusual. I mean, it's happened to me personally, probably at least three times in my career. Where everything is a ground stop, everything stops because in order to position themselves for a flyby over the White House or whatever event happens to be going on, they just need to shut down all the traffic. They can't have airplanes coming in for landing and taking off because, you know, it's a safety thing. So, yeah, in this case, it happened to be an event that a lot of people are scratching their heads about that occurred a few weeks ago. But again, it's not really that unusual for something like that to happen. It just happens to be good or bad timing on your part if you happen to be there when everything shuts down.
I presume that the timing of these shutdowns is for security reasons, so they don't give any advance notice.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. All right. So hopefully, I guess that's my only comment is that, yeah, I mean, we may believe that whatever they were doing the flyby for was kind of a ridiculous thing, or maybe we think it's a great thing, you know, depending on your political sensibilities. It happens quite a bit up there. Okay, then. Tim Van Ram, yeah, look at that. He sent us a video clip from Instagram regarding clean air on flights. So let's see what this is all about.
The cleanest air on the plane isn't where you think. And the reason most people get sick on long flights is the wrong setting. 20 years standing at this checkpoint, and I never thought about it until my pilot friend walked me through the cockpit this morning. Cabin air gets pulled through hospital-grade filters, cleaner than your own kitchen, and pushed out of that little overhead nozzle in a downward curtain. That curtain is your protection, because the air your row breathes goes straight down and out instead of sideways. So the sick person 3 rows up can't reach you as long as your nozzle's open. Most people twist it shut because they get cold, but don't. Open it when you sit down, point it at your face, and layer up instead, because the moment you close it, you're breathing whatever's drifting down the aisle.
Okay. that was a security person, TSA, I'm guessing. I don't know. I'm not sure I recognize but some kind of an airport security official standing in front of or right behind the cockpit. That's kind of the setting, just to kind of give you an idea if you're not watching the video. And I don't know I think most of that information was accurate.
Oh yeah, certainly about the filters.
Yeah.
They are really high quality, very capable filters that they have on board aircraft. They're at least equivalent to the sort of air filters you would have in an operating theatre to maintain, absolute cleanliness of the air that's being blown into a operating theatre, and the same occurs on an aircraft. And in fact, I remember chatting to a highly qualified doctor who was part of the team that used to design and assess these filters, and he said, actually, people think that the older the filters get, the worse it's going to be. And he said, whereas in fact, as the filters become blocked by the tiny, tiny particles that they're catching, he said they actually become more efficient because, up to a point, they're going to, as the tiny, minuscule holes get blocked, less and less particles, fewer and fewer particles are going to get through. And he said, you don't want them to be bypassed so that's why they changed them, he said, but don't ever worry that you've got an old filter in there and it's not working very well. It's exactly the opposite. But
not only that, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. I was waiting for you to.
I had finished.
Not only that, but between flights, sometimes we'll take those filters out and put them out on the ramp and find a hose and hose them down a little bit, and
I've
helps.
taken a broom to them occasionally,
and whack it.
Yeah, found an old broom in there and whacked them a few times. Yes.
So don't worry about that air, man. It's clean.
Yeah,
Super
absolutely.
Clean. Yeah.
I think there's a certain element of yes. If you have the Punkah Louvre, the Punkah Louvre, as it's correctly termed.
What?
The
What are you
Punkah
saying?
Louvre.
What language is that?
Punkah Louvre. We all know what a Punkah Louvre is. Are you sure you're an airline pilot?
I've never heard of that. How do you
Have
spell
you
that?
not?
Let me look that up.
Punka, I guess.
Punka Louvre.
It's an old Louvre.
Okay, Punkah Louvre. K-A-H. Okay.
Jeff just doing a fact check.
The Punkah Louvre, a new principle in aviation. And this looks like an image from like the 1930s. I'm serious.
Everybody that's just modern.
Wow. Okay. Aluminum Punkah Louvre. Okay. Thank you for, educating me. I've never heard that term ever used.
Anyway, if you have your Punkah Louvre on, I can see, you could possibly stop other people's breath coming towards you. But quite honestly, the airflow is pretty quick. It's not like it hangs around in the cabin and waits for people to suck in germs. It is a fairly constant flow from where it enters above to where it exits below. And there's vents all the way along the aircraft. So the Punkah Louvre, there you go. New principle in ventilation. Where did you find that historic document?
Google. From Thermotank Limited, apparently.
Yeah. I want you to now type in define Punkah Louvre in aviation. But there you go. A new principle. Yeah, look at that. Yes, you see.
I see the Punkah Louvre over there next to the young lady leaning over her old-fashioned typewriter.
She doesn't look like she's in an aircraft, though.
No, I don't think this has anything to do with aviation. Oh, well, I know
that's from people who don't understand what a Punkah Louvre is.
That would be me.
Yeah, you call it an eyeball vent then.
Okay. Well, he was right. Thank you, Tim.
Excellent.
Yeah. All right.
So there we go. But you're right. It's often a bit chilly because it's supposed to be to freshen you up, make you feel nice and a week.
I mean, it makes sense, but honestly, I'm one of those that goes in and like closes the Punkah Louvre.
Yeah.
Because
all right,
it's
then here's another
too
one.
cold.
Who's a Punkah Walla? The Punkah Walla was in the time of the Raj, Englishmen in India. They used to have these big fans. They were like a carpet in the ceiling that used to wave back and forth. And the Punkah Walla was the bloke who pulled the rope that waved all these fans that moved the air and kept all the Englishmen cool.
So I'm gathering that Punkah must be like some kind of root for air or movement.
Yes, I wonder
moving
what
air
it
or
is.
something?
Yes.
Okay, staff. All right, they're doing some research on it right now. I can see Captain Nick doing
It
research.
originated from the Hindu word panka, which derives from the Sanskrit word meaning wing or feather. It describes a traditional manually operated cooling fan. The concept began as early as the 6th century. Good Lord. Well
Wow.
before the British Raj, evolving into the large swinging fabric and frame ceiling fans adopted by the British colonialists in the 18th century India.
Just slap up a bunch of those Punkah Louvres.
Finding a Punkah Walla nowadays would be quite hard, I think. I think they're... Well, I'll ask her if she'll volunteer to be my Punkah Walla. Yes.
Wow. Well, if this is not a show title in some way or another, I don't know what is. You don't get it. Okay.
Anyway, very good.
Yeah. And thank you, Captain Nick, for introducing that word that I've never heard of. Ever.
Well, there you go. I'm here to expand your vocabulary.
Now I can't forget it. Sadly. Yeah. All right. Moving on, I guess.
It's a bit like potable, isn't it?
Rick K. Every time he sends us feedback, we have the same discussion because I never remember exactly how to pronounce his last name. Kowalczyk, I think. Yeah, Rick Kowalczyk. 2 articles he sends in. Captain Jeff and crew, hope all's well with you and the crew. Below are a couple of articles I found interesting. The first one is about AI flying, or would that be Al flying, like Captain Al? No, AI. Flying an airplane, and the second is about an NTSB concern. The first one, the AI flying the airplane, from articles from CNN.com. And let's see. So the article talks about a small Cessna Caravan that has been converted to non-human flight. Although in this case, on this particular flight they talk about in this article, test pilot Matt Diamond in the left seat beside me is not controlling the airplane at all, and we're showing a picture of that. He's got his hands off. Many of the normal tasks of piloting are instead being handled by artificial intelligence. I am, legally speaking, a test subject. Okay, he's in the right seat. Even the airplane's labeled experimental. The Merlin pilot system, that's what they're calling this, Merlin pilot. Oh, I guess like a wizard, the Merlin the wizard.
Yeah.
Handles much more than a traditional autopilot, using a natural language processing model to listen to instructions from a mock air traffic controller and responding over the radio using a computerized female voice. Test pilot Diamond says, authorize, and the airplane begins turning to a new course. As a pilot myself, and admittedly a bit of a control freak, surrendering control to a computer did not come naturally, but the demonstration is an important one, as more aviation companies are looking to AI to usher in a new evolution in air travel by using it to automate tasks for pilots and perhaps one day enable fully autonomous flights. Okay. There's more to this article that we'll have linked in the show notes. We've talked about this on and off quite a bit on the show, where we think everything's going with this, and AI continues to surprise us, and but I still hold the position that I don't think we're going to completely eliminate humans, especially in passenger aircraft or airline travel, but maybe minimize whatever human input there is, more of a managing / there in case something goes wrong kind of role. I don't know. What do you think, Captain Nick?
I think it's very early days, but I think AI, when it has evolved into something that can tell the difference between 6 fingers and 5 fingers when it's drawing someone's hand, when it's got beyond that point, I might trust it a bit better, because there's no doubt about it, there are an awful lot of holes we see daily in what AI can do. And knowing the rigorous requirements of aviation travel, it needs to be a darn sight better than it currently displays to us in everyday life. So yes, I think there is a place for it, and it can be used as a tool, just like you do now. It could automatically acknowledge radio calls, take down clearances, read back stuff, if you wanted it to. It could relieve the workload for the pilots if you wanted. So we all see the spiral down the bath plug here, don't we? Because if you're taking away tasks from the pilots don't need to be so well trained, which means you can shorten their training, you can pay them less, and that is a downward spiral, and we all know where that's going to end up. Yep. So I personally, of course, with 50 years plus of aviation experience, would feel very uncomfortable if we were going to go too far down this path too fast. Having said that, particularly outside of the military, civil aviation is a very conservative, small c, bunch of people, and we take a lot of convincing before we adopt new technology, and it has to be very well proven. And so long as we continue with that reluctance to accept everything straight off the factory floor, we really want to see it in operation. We want to inspect it. We want to make sure it's going to work properly. We want to be righteously suspicious of new innovations where we really can't see an advantage. Then I think we're going to be probably okay. But heaven forbid should we get a generation of pilots or manufacturers in charge who don't have that same level of suspicion.
Mm-hmm. I agree completely. Okay, and then the second article that Rick sent us involves this from Reuters. The U.S. National Transportation Safety Board, NTSB, on Tuesday, it's probably a while ago, last month, called on the FAA to revise how it assesses runway conditions during heavy rainfall, citing safety risks of airplanes skidding off the runway. There's a picture of one right there that Liz is showing us here in the video, and it will be in the show notes. That's a Miami Air 737-800. They were coming in to land at NAS Jacksonville, Florida. Came to a rest in the St. Johns River in Jacksonville on the 4th of May, 2019. Yeah, that kind of... and we covered that, by the way, on our show. So the recommendations follow NTSB investigations of 11 runway overrun accidents and incidents from 2008 through 2022 that occurred after landings on wet runways. The NTSB called on the FAA to reform the so-called Runway Condition Assessment Matrix, or RCAM, that uses a 6-point scale for pilots. The board cited the 2019 overrun of the 737 that we were just showing there, due in part an extreme loss of braking friction due to heavy rain and the water depth on the ungrooved runway, which resulted in viscous hydroplaning. In the 2019 incident, a Boeing jet chartered by the U.S. military was arriving from Naval Station Guantanamo Bay in Cuba with 142 people on board when it slid into the St. Johns River at the end of the 9,000-foot-long runway at Naval Air Station Jacksonville. There were no serious injuries. They just got a lot of wet feet, I think. The NTSB also recommended the FAA issue new rainfall intensity descriptors for aviation weather reports to identify rainfall intensities exceeding the current heavy rain threshold of 0.3 inches or 7.62 millimeters per hour. The FAA said it takes NTSB recommendations seriously and will carefully consider those issued on Tuesday. The FAA encourages airports to report wet runway conditions. So, when I saw this article and I was thinking about, sliding around on runways, especially those runways that are non-grooved. Now, fortunately here in the U.S. and probably many places, especially big international airports that Captain Nick operated in and out of, it's not uncommon for you to have grooved and have porous friction overlays, etc. Things that make the runways not so slippery when they're wet. But there are probably a majority of the places in this world. And you don't have to go too far from the U.S. You fly down into the Caribbean, you fly down into Latin America and South America, and there are a lot of runways. And this one happens to be one right here in Florida, a Naval Air Station runway that are not grooved or have porous friction overlays. And so you have to be so careful when conditions are like this.
And of course, even if you've got a grooved runway, you can get rainfall that is so intense that it just overcomes the ability of the runway to clear the water and give you something, that is not a surface of water to land on. So, even if you've got the best runway surface in the world, we need to be able to know how hard the rain is coming down and at what point that runway turns from being wet to being flooded, and so hydroplaning then becomes a distinct possibility. It is very important. And I've been out of the system now for long enough for me to say I hope things have changed. But my experience, not just in America but in many other countries, was that the ability of air traffic to detect and report runway conditions was generally pretty lousy. You would get out-of-date reports. They wouldn't react quickly to a sudden downburst of water, and they had no real accurate way of measuring, other than perhaps driving out there and putting a ruler on the runway to see how deep the water is, or using a runway friction testing gear, which itself is not particularly good at representing what an aircraft will encounter when it lands on the runway. And the chances of you getting a report quickly were down remote, if So you end up just tossing a coin. If you're a skipper trying to get in to land and there's just been a huge heavy downpour, you are just going, well, I really have no idea if it's going to be safe to land, or I'm going to risk hydroplaning off the far end. So you just hope for the best, and put my hand on my heart. I've been in that situation so many times. Luckily for me, I never had an issue. It was always okay, and I put that down to, the aircraft I flew and the tyre manufacturers, but not much else, I'm afraid.
Yeah. You said it was up to flipping a coin. Would somebody go out there near the runway and flip a coin and see what happens to it when it hits the runway?
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very true.
Yeah, and it's a great excuse for that firm touchdown. Not that rolling on the.
No flare today.
Yeah, just slam that thing down, and that actually is a not maybe slamming it down, but a firmer than normal touchdown is recommended usually in flight manuals because you want to break that possibility for the hydroplaning and the viscous hydroplaning phenomenon.
Yeah.
Yeah, what? If you float on that runway, you're going to float at the end. Yeah, well, thankfully that airplane did float at the end, Liz. Oh, I need to adjust my camera. I just raised my sit-stand desk to a new level, and now I feel like I'm at the kids' table. Yes, please. May I have another? Let me... Does he?
Almost ran off 11,000 feet. Oof.
Yikes.
Wow.
Where? Oh, Detroit.
Wow. That's
Wow.
impressive.
Yeah, was it? Yeah. I'll bet it had something to do with wintry conditions. Yeah.
Don't know. We'll find out in a sec.
What
But
say you,
That
UH
would be
Blackhawk?
terrifying. I would find that terrifying because, 11,000 feet is a vast length of runway to land on. You generally speaking, you would be going, yeah, we'll be good.
Mm-hmm. Oh, we have to Louvre back to the Louvre, the Punkah Louvre. UH Blackhawk says, I can't wait to use that term in a conversation with the flight attendants. They're going to go, wow, this pilot is like,
That's right.
something wrong with this guy. We always thought that this guy was a little weird, but now we know for sure. Yeah.
Snow. Okay. Yeah.
Snow. Okay.
They didn't do a very
Blackhawk,
good job of clearing it then.
Yeah. Oh, the first to land after it was cleared. Yeah, that's always a dicey situation, isn't it? Like, okay, you're the first customer. Let's see how we did. You didn't do very well.
Yes. Ouch.
Air guinea pig.
Ouch,
Yeah, I
ouch.
like it.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Rick sent us another piece of feedback, and we'll just quickly touch upon it, but we'll put it in the show notes. You can check it out yourself from Politico.com. Just read the news article about the FAA using AI to basically mine the current data it has to help fix problems within the system. It's a long read, but interesting. Okay. Aviation officials turn to AI for combating runway issues. And the aviation agency has partnered with tech company Palantir. I don't know if that's the way that's pronounced or not, but sounds good to me. Long-term goal is to get to predictive, said one official. Federal aviation officials are hoping to sharply reduce close calls on airport runways by using AI, an effort that comes after a deadly runway crash in New York this year, talking about the Jazz CRJ and the fire truck. As I said, the FAA has partnered with technology company Palantir, which has developed a new AI tool that the agency is already deploying to distill a fire hose of data and predict potential problems with takeoffs and landings. Okay. And there's more to that article there. Well, that's good. I'm glad that people are making an effort to, make things more safe and data mine to come up with some solutions. All right. Yes? Oh, I see what you're saying. Sam sent us this. Now, I don't know. Let me just read what Sam has said. Sam Bolog in the Los Angeles area, California. Oh, he is with us. Okay. So, Sam, I'm not sure, but we're going to do this. He says, hello, everyone. I was on this flight today. We had to delay departure at the last minute, apparently for Air Force One. If the audio is clear enough for you to hear, and it's not great, tell me that it's not Steph, Dr. Steph. Okay. Do you think so? Okay. Well, maybe it's just my ears are clogged or something. Okay. Let me pull that up if you'll throw that. Now, the video imagery that we're looking at is really not spectacular. It's the back of the seat in front of Mr. Bolog. Oh, I need to share again because I've been doing so many things back and forth. Okay, here. Here we go. Now you can do it. Okay, so what we're looking at here is Sam is on a CRJ 900. How do I know that? Because I'm looking at the safety card in the seat back of the seat in front of him, and it's a Delta connection carrier. I'm not sure which one, but but this is involving audio. Okay, so let's see. Okay, everybody listen closely. Here we go. Oh, you know what? I think he's right. That did sound.
She certainly talks fast, like Steph does.
Yeah,
same cadence.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't really make out a lot of it, but.
Yeah, Sam. I guess Steph has been kind of keeping this a secret from everyone. Yeah, that's right. Sometimes she's not on the show. Like today, I'm wondering what flight she's piloting right now.
By the way, what's this CRJ 700 ooh? I don't quite understand what the ooh was for.
Let's see. Let me get back to the image that he's looking at, and then we can put that back up there, Liz, if you'd like.
CRJ 900 ooh.
Or maybe like it's the French version, like ooh la la. I don't know.
Is it French Canadian? Is that what it is?
Yeah, it is built. It is built in Montreal by what used to be a company called Bombardier.
Ooh.
Or Bombardier, if you prefer.
Well, some people do.
Some people do. Yeah. Okay. Now I stand corrected, Sam. You're right. That did sound like stuff. All right. Yes. Okay. 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 Oh, yeah. Okay. Let's do that then. Let's wrap it up with these two. Which one do you want me to do first? Okay, let's do the logo one. Okay. And I believe this was sent in to us from Dominic O'Kelly.
I saw this and I thought it was brilliant. I really did. Yeah.
Well, because it involves my airline and I'm old school. I went,
yeah.
Nay. I don't know. I'm definitely in the minority here. But okay, so
go and get your mates in then.
The title of his feedback is "Improving?" ? The Delta logo. Okay, this is from Instagram. It's one of those reels from Instagram, and Dominic kind of senses maybe what my reaction may be. I wonder what Captain Jeff thinks of this. Yeah, I think you're going to find out. Here we go.
Let's fix the Delta logo. All right, first and foremost, this type is way too far apart. Huge gaps. Let's fix that. Let's choose a title case so it's a little bit easier to read, a little bit more modern. And then this symbol, it's a triangle that represents a delta. And it has negative space in here that I think makes it into like a compass point, which is fine, but it's pretty abstract. Let's give it a touch more meaning. Let's start with the type. I chose Aonic here. It's a nice face, easy to read. However, let's kern up that type so it's tight but not touching. That's how I like my sans serif title case. And then let's clean it up a little bit more. Let's chop off the left side of that T, make these letters fit better together. Now I'm really focused on this. Maybe if we can make this look less like an I and more like an L. There we go. Now we got some motion leading you up, just like an airline. So here's the symbol. It's all right. Let's keep that brand equity, but add that meaning. Let's remove this. And then with that delta symbol, just add that nice vertical line. And all of a sudden, you have a plane taking off in motion. And when you put it all together, it is a beautiful thing. This is my idea for a new Delta logo.
Okay, enough with the music.
What does
Okay.
Jim think? Have you pointed this in his direction?
Yeah. Well, I'm sure he'd have some opinions.
An opinion on this?
Yeah, Mercado.
Because after all, this is right in his bailiwick.
It is. This is what he does for a living. Okay, yeah, so that reminds me of something that's already in the aviation world. That's a logo that looks really familiar to me. I don't recall. Maybe somebody in the chat can tell me what it is that I'm thinking it looks like. But I've seen that before, so that kind of isn't original. Yes, but is it airline or airline? Yeah, well, so almost every airline out there puts air and line together as one word. Delta, again, old school, has kept them separate because they are airlines. But you know how we, in the modern world, in language and words, kind of smush everything together, like make everything one word, like airline pilot guy. Yeah.
It's a portmanteau, isn't it? When you squish something together, two words.
I think it has a... Yeah, I like the font.
Yeah, so do I.
Well, okay. Well,
although
again,
traditionally
as I said,
the T is shorter than an L, but who cares?
Here's some examples of logos over the years at Delta Airlines. They did at one point kind of make it more modern over here. I don't know if you see my cursor here over to the right.
Yep.
Yeah, that was
different font, that's for sure.
It was a different font. The kerning was tighter. And even with the all capitals, it hasn't always been with that big giant, a lot of space or loose kerning. Is it kerning? Or I think kerning is the right term.
Yeah, sounds right.
And here's an example of the capitalized letters with tighter kerning, which I like, actually. So they've changed the logo over the years. Here's another modern.
But all very subtle. This is would be quite a dramatic alteration.
Kind of cute. Okay. Here's the original. You know, Liz and I were talking about this the other day, and she was expressing how she really liked what this guy had come up with. This right here, about in the middle of the of what I'm showing on the video, is the original widget. It's called a widget in the Delta world. And then when we merged with Northwest, then they made it all red. And give it a little kind of a three-dimensional
I quite like
look.
the old red. I prefer it to the red and blue because it makes it more solid.
Well, it kind of reminds me of Virgin. I can see where you're coming from.
I also like the light and the dark because it gives it a nice 3D impact. But
anyway. Yeah, that one right there. That's the one I, come to identify with. That's the old classic, look. But as I said,
Jim, we need an opinion. I trust Jim.
Jim Mercado. Maybe you can. I have a feeling he'll like the new presentation of it as well. Oh well, that's okay. Okay. Last but certainly not least, we're going to end our show today with some feedback from our good friend Ant Pruitt, and it's regarding AirVenture. Hello, Miss Liz, Dr. Steph, Captain Jeff, Alpha Juliet, and he left you out, Captain Nick.
Oh yeah, I don't know quite why.
Cover your ears. You don't need to hear this.
Perhaps I wasn't on this show.
Yeah, possibly. I hope you're doing well. I wanted to send a quick note of thanks for the AirVenture interview you held on episode 713. I had no idea about AirVenture and found the information shared fascinating. Thank you for having Mr. Nipinski on. He mentioned how busy the airport gets there and how it surpasses the likes of ATL or JFK with regards to air traffic. All the incoming and outgoing flight chaos. Mr. Napinski mentioned the thousands of takeoffs and landings happen in a span of about 14 hours. My question to you all, how is that possible? Is it because of the shorter runway space needed by the aircraft? Is it because the aircraft are mostly GA, general aviation, and not subject to waiting around as long for a previous aircraft's takeoff wake to clear? Seems like I read ATL can have moments in the day where flights are cleared for takeoff every 2.5 minutes. Don't quote me on that because I don't remember my source. Anyway, I was just curious about all that. Definitely not an important question I'm asking. Yeah, but it's an interesting question, I'd say. Anyway, thanks for all you do for the aviation community and enthusiasts. I hope you have hugs and love to all of you. Oh, thank you. He sent us some hugs.
Except he didn't have hugs for me, did he?
Well, but now he's been very inclusive at the very end of it. All of you.
Oh, okay. All right.
Okay, that includes you. And Nick Camacho and everybody else. AirVenture, Whitman Field, during what is generally referred to as Oshkosh every year. They have a couple of simultaneous, and actually one of the taxiways I believe they also use for as a runway when they're bringing people in, and I'm not sure about when people are leaving AirVenture, but I know coming in they have 2 and sometimes 3 different runways for landing. I could be wrong about that. Somebody in the chat maybe correct me there if I'm wrong, but I know at least 2 runways, and each of these runways are reasonably reasonably long as far as GA is concerned. And Greg is saying, that's something else. Okay, all right. Reasonably long runways for general aviation, and they basically segment the runways into segments, and they put spots, they paint different colored spots on the runways, and so when people are coming in, it's not unusual to have 2 or 3 airplanes landing almost simultaneously, and they're all aiming for a different point to land on the runways, and knowing that they're not going to have really long landing rollouts, they can do that. And as far as spacing is concerned and wake turbulence, I guess the amount of wake that is coming off of a general aviation airplane is not very significant as compared to military and civilian aviation, airliners and that kind of thing. So they can get away with, you can get into some wake turbulence. You got to know where that wake is going to be, and even though you can't see it, you have to kind of imagine where it's going to be, and you have to be careful. But so that's how they're able to do it. It's just very tight spacing in flight and on runway, and using several different spots on the runway to land on. And it, of course, relies considerably on the skills of the pilots to make sure that when they're told to land on the orange dot or the green dot or whatever dot, that they actually do land on that particular dot, because it's very important to keep everything flowing. I have not flown. I know I have never flown into Oshkosh as a passenger. The closest I've gotten is at Sun and Fun. I was a passenger in AJ's flying club airplane, the 206, and they have kind of a version of what they do at Oshkosh. It's definitely to a much smaller scale. But they did instruct AJ to land on a certain spot on the runway, and but that's my only experience with that, Liz. I've not experienced the full thing. No. What else? Anything that you want to add or anything, Captain Nick, to that? And I kind of wish that we had some of the hosts on the show that have a lot of experience flying into and out of AirVenture over the years. But sadly, they didn't make it today. So maybe we can address this again on a subsequent show in the future if there are any more questions about that. All right. It is wrap-up time, and as always, we point you to our website, airlinepilotguy.com, where you'll find information about the crew and the community calendar. Let's see what else. We have a separate page for the old Pilot's Plain Tales and information on how you can actually subscribe to it as a separate podcast. Let's see, we have some merchandise. We have a library if you're interested in reading about or reading aviation books and such. What else, Liz? Anything I'm missing? A YouTube page if you want to find and watch or get a link to our YouTube channel. That's there as well. Anyway, and we're also on social media, or what I like to call the social medias. Captain Nick, would you do the honors, please?
Absolutely, love to. If you're a fan of Facebook, and who isn't? Well, I don't know. Lots of us, I guess.
Me? I'm not.
Exactly. Facebook.com/airline pilot guy, all one word. And if you're an ex, I don't know what you're an ex of, but...
I'm an ex. I have an ex.
You do have an ex, exactly, which means she's saying that you're an ex. So, yes, I suppose you are an ex. Anyway, if you are on X, it's at APG Crew. Instas, the Instagrams, we're just APG Crew, and that's usually where you can go if you want to get a quick peek at the artwork and expand it up to try and find those hidden Easter eggs. But if you enjoy the raw sausage being squeezed out of the mincing machine, then you have to go to YouTube, because youtube.com/airline pilot guy is where you can find it.
You know, I really do need to learn my lesson, Liz. I need to make a recording of Steph doing that. Wow. Okay. Yeah, I know. Okay, and also we're on Slack. We have this gentleman who kind of manages that for us. His name is Hillel. Hillel, can you tell us about Slack?
Okay, but I'm dripping wet.
It's always there to tell us all about it. Here we go.
APG listeners, please join us on our Slack team. Slack is a communication, coordination, and sharing platform that works on your mobile, laptop, or browser. On Slack, we share news and ideas, we suggest episode and plain tales topics, we plan events and meetups. To get into the Slack team, please email me at slack@airlinepilotguy.com. That's SLACK, Sierra Lima Alpha Charlie Kilo @airlinepilotguy.com, or send me a tweet with your preferred email address to @Hillel, and I'll send you an invitation. That's Hillel, spelled Hotel India 11 Echo 1, and see you in Slack.
Thanks a lot, Hillel.
I need a towel. I got shampoo in my eyes.
Well, have your wife do it for you. There you go. All right.
Yeah.
They're having fun again in the shower. Yeah. Oh, and we'd also like to give a big thanks to our producer, curator, Liz Piper. Busy before the show, after the show, and during the show. So thank you very much for everything that you do. It is priceless.
My pleasure.
And costless.
Yeah.
And also we'd like to thank our live audience. We don't pay them either. They come here every week and lend their knowledge and expertise in comedy to our live recording. So you should check it out sometime if you have the time. Follow us on the social medias, and then you can join the wonderful people in our chat room every week. And yeah, I guess that's going to do it for today's show. So thank you, everybody, for listening, and tell your friends about us. And we're going to say, wishing you clear skies, unlimited visibility, and tailwinds. Take care, and God bless.
Just half an hour.
See you next time.
I thought he said, piss off for now.
That's what you wanted to say.
I guess that's what I heard. I don't know. I think he said ta-ta, but it sounded like piss off for now.
Now, this is interesting. Errant Traveler says he's been receiving checks for coming in.
Oh, has he?
Oh.
Dang.
Wow.
I don't know who are you getting them from.
I don't
I'd
know.
like to sign up for that.
Yeah, indeed.
Well, Nick, I think you have the title. I think.
Yes, I do. Well,
Yeah,
yes,
okay.
very much so.
All right. So I won't give you any of
The picture I envisage is actually a cutaway of an aircraft, and there's a pretty lady with adjusting her Punkah Louvre now, and that you follow the pipe up into the ceiling where you can't see it, and there's an old Indian gentleman blowing down it.
Oh, love it.
That's great. I love it. Love it. Love it.
Tanya's been receiving checks too.
All right.
Oh, wow.
Dang.
Have you tried cashing any of them?
Well, it looks like Errant Traveler has. He said,
says,
I don't question it. I just cash them.
Just cash it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Where does that leave us, Nick? I guess he carries.
Yeah,
on.
I know. Yeah, a bit of a worry, really, isn't it? Cash in hand would be nice, though.
That would be, yeah. Under the
We
table.
don't really have checks in the UK anymore.
No, we,
Greg
well, we
saying?
do.
I tried to message
We're in the
Hillel.
first world.
Said
Try-
it couldn't
yeah,
be
I'll have
done
to
because
talk to
his
Hillel.
messaging is not set up. What does that mean?
This is on X, so he's trying to, you know how Hillel says on his thing, send a message to Hillel.
Mm-hmm.
So somehow on X it doesn't seem to be set up. So
Okay. Well, you can send a. I think we have it set up so you can Hillel at airlinepilotguy.com.
Slack at airlinepilotguy.com.
Slack at airlinepilot.
Which is on the thing every week.
Oh, there you go. Well, there you go. There you have it. Slack at airlinepilotguy.com. There you go. Try that.
Anyway, thanks everybody. Have a great weekend. And great to
Indeedy.
Next week?
Next week?
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt you, Liz.
That's okay.
Keep going.
No. Next week, what?
Next week is a question mark. We may or may not have something published out there for you. Probably not, but you never know.
All right, everybody. Have a good time on the weekend, and we'll see you. Captain Nick's got dinner to get to, I think.
Ooh.
Well, I
What time
do.
is it now?
It is my dinner
7:30?
time, but and then I have to prep for tomorrow and get.
Oh
an
yeah,
early
your
night.
big game.
Yeah, big day playing.
Nice. Well, good luck with that.
Thank you.
All right, bye-bye for now.
Cheers,
All right.
everyone.
See you, everybody. Thanks for hanging with us.
Bye.